for a missing 10-year-old boy. A 28-year-old Victoria man was arrested on charges of evading arrest, and a guilty verdict today in the murder trial of Caitlin Armstrong after hours of deliberation.
We picked up a lot of cloud cover. We're not going to be as sunny as earlier expected, but at least the temperatures will be mild. All that stuff's coming from that huge storm on the west coast, which will affect us sometime next week. I'll have the latest for you.
And the game of the week that was here in Victoria was not close. We have the highlights in sports.
You're watching 25 News now at 10. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker. Karina Garcia has the night off. Authorities are still searching for a 10-year-old boy and the man wanted in his disappearance after their vehicle was found abandoned at a Houston bus station. An Amber Alert for Ian Aguilar was issued on Tuesday night in Wilmer, a city south of Dallas. The alert stated Ian was believed to have been abducted by 38-year-old Juan Aguilar Cano, who is also wanted in connection with the death of Ian's mother. Ian Aguilar is 4 feet tall and has black hair and brown eyes. Call 911 if you have any information. A Refugio man was found guilty of manslaughter. The Refugio County Press reports 25-year-old Robert Frazier was convicted in the 2021 death of 26-year-old Andrew Williams. On November 15, 2021, Williams' body was found when officers responded to a call of a shooting at a residence in the 100 block of Mesquite Street. Wednesday night, Victoria police arrested 28-year-old Darian Luna on charges of evading arrest. Court records show Luna arrested several times since 2012. Luna is at the Victoria County Jail held in lieu of a $10,000 bond. Let's take a first look at your forecast with First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Mac Perez. Mac, a cloudy start to the day, but the sun came out and the afternoon was nice.
We had a few rays of sun there in the afternoon, but notice how where all that cloud deck is coming from. We're right here. You can almost follow it all the way around. We talked about that huge storm on the west coast. It's already pushing rain into Arizona and the southwest. When will it get here? Sometime next week. We'll be talking about that coming up in just a moment. Stay tuned. Don, back to you.
Mac, thank you. An Austin jury found Caitlin Armstrong guilty of murder Thursday. Police issued an arrest warrant for Armstrong on May 17, 2022, 6 days after she shot and killed pro cyclist Anna Mo Wilson at an East Austin apartment. Throughout the trial, the state's witnesses presented a series of electronic and DNA evidence that placed Armstrong at the murder scene. The sentencing phase starts tomorrow. Anderson could face up to 99 years in prison. A death investigation is underway in the Houston area after a grandmother's body was found in a bayou. There's speculation she was killed by vicious dogs. Family members say the 79-year-old went for a walk Wednesday afternoon but never came back. Her sons went looking for her, found her body face down in a nearby bayou with puncture wounds on her body.
I just told my brother, brother, I thought that's the body. And we go more closer, and I saw exactly my mom's body.
People in the area have complained about aggressive dogs, saying the dogs frequently escape from a home. County authorities were seen at the dog's home after the death, and some dogs were put into animal control vehicles. An autopsy will determine the cause of death. A 3-vehicle wreck slowed down traffic this morning along 2 of Victoria's busiest streets. Victoria police said a 3-vehicle wreck took place just before 10 this morning at the intersection of Navarro and Mockingbird. Officer Brogger with Victoria police said the first vehicle ignoring the traffic signal caused the chain reaction wreck.
There was a white Toyota that was southbound on North Navarro Street. A gray Toyota Prius and a black Ford F-150 were both eastbound on Mockingbird. The white Toyota ran the red light, which caused the crash.
2 people were transported to a local hospital for non-life-threatening injuries. It's a disease that can strike without warning, appearing first in the form of tremors. Our longtime morning meteorologist Trey Mining was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease 3 years ago. 25 News Now Sunrise anchor Carolina Astrain spoke with Trey about his ongoing struggle with Parkinson's.
Good morning, everyone. 5:20 is the current time. Temperature is feeling pretty nice.
Trey Mining was 51 years old when he was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. The degenerative brain disorder was causing a slowness in his movements due to a lack of dopamine. Dr. Shaw, Trey's doctor, says a majority of Parkinson's disease cases are non-hereditary, and at this time, nobody knows what causes the condition to develop.
Currently, as we speak, there is no cure for the condition. There are different treatments available that really helps with the Parkinson's disease, but as we speak, there is no cure for the condition.
Since his diagnosis, Trey has continued to live his life as normal as possible. Between working through his tremors while on air and dealing with obstacles put forth by the high cost of prescription medication.
The medicine that I had been using in the past was not really used in Victoria that much, so they had to special order it. So I had to order it in advance to get there.
The longtime meteorologist says he couldn't get through any of it without the love and patience shown by his wife, Mary Ellen.
She's always there by my side and gives me love, and of course, and she goes to every appointment with me and sits in on that and helps me to stay encouraged.
With regular exercise, life expectancy can be unaffected by the condition, says Dr. Shaw.
A person who is being active, person who is living a healthy and active lifestyle, they tend to have a lower progression of the disease and a slower progression of the disease.
Trey's wife, Mary Ellen, says her father also had Parkinson's disease.
Maybe it was, that was God preparing me, but, I feel like, it's a blessing for Trey too, because, I know what it's like to be there for somebody with Parkinson's, to help somebody with Parkinson's. So that was a blessing for me and for Trey.
The cost of the medication Trey was taking changed earlier this year. Now he takes a less effective medication because it's what he can afford with his health insurance plan. Otherwise, Trey and Mary Ellen would be spending up to $1,000 a month for the preferred medication.
There has to be some from the help of the government that this is supposed to be lower price that average American can afford. These medications that are very essential to people with Parkinson's disease. They're very effective in treating, getting control of the symptoms. But if they are high priced, if they can afford, and then they're not going to be able to use it, then what's the point of those medications that's available?
We could use some health care reform in our country. I'm not trying to be political.
It's true though.
It's true. I'm just saying it.
Despite the physical and financial setbacks, Dr. Shaw says it's important to not lose hope.
I tell patients that do those on a daily basis. That would help slow down the disease process, and it would help prevent. It would help to make you remain active for a longer period of time.
Trey says he encourages those who are silently dealing with Parkinson's to seek out not just medical care, but also emotional care from the people in their lives.
Just a matter of having the good support team again, kind of sum it up here, taking the medicine properly, always having a good positive attitude, staying active, very important. Then you can live with this. You can have it, yes, but you can live with it and be successful. It's not going to be the end of your life.
Trey continues to fight the condition with regular exercise by doing things that enrich his life and his wife's life. He's also moving to a dayside shift at work so he can get the sleep he needs to fight Parkinson's. So you may not see Trey in the mornings, but you will see his work online and from time to time on air whenever he's needed. Carolina Estrain, KVUTV 25 News Now.
Carolina, thank you. And here are some of the symptoms of Parkinson's disease. Rhythmic shaking known as tremors, slowed movement making simple tasks more difficult, speech changes, and loss of automatic movements that include blinking or smiling or swinging arms while walking. If you are living with the impacts of Parkinson's disease, there is a support group that meets the third Wednesday of each month. They won't be meeting in December, but will start back up again in January. To learn more, call 361-580-5128. Parkinson's is the second most common neurodegenerative disease after Alzheimer's disease. Nearly 1 million people across the U.S. are living with Parkinson's. More than 52,000 of them are Texans. You can see Carolina's full interview with Trey on our Crossroads Today YouTube channel. And here's your viewer poll this evening. Scan that QR code on your screen to vote now. Here's the question. Which aspect of Parkinson's disease do you want to learn more about? And according to the voters, the most votes, let's see, I believe 82% say they are wanting to know more about early diagnosis of Parkinson's. We thank you for voting and come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell so you can see Crossroads Today on YouTube. And stay with us. Coming up on 25 News now at 10. A New York judge lifts a gag order imposed on Donald Trump in an emergency hearing today. Also ahead, a rare bird sighting in downtown Corpus Christi brought a flock of bird enthusiasts to the area.
1984, Governor Greg Abbott's story warned us all. And a terrifying moment at the San Antonio Zoo just this year. One child critically injured. Acres of woodlands fill Victoria's Riverside Park, but rarely do we think about our aging trees.
This is hollow. You can see where it's split.
Adam Seibel explores the measures needed to protect our residents and visitors, where aging trees loom large. Riverside Park Trees, a 25 News Now Extra, Monday at 10 p.m.
President Donald Trump and his attorneys has been temporarily lifted in his civil fraud case in New York. A New York appeals court judge made the decision Thursday following an emergency hearing late Wednesday. Trump's lawyers made the argument that the gag order infringed on his right to free speech. The former president has already been fined twice for a total of $15,000 for violating a gag order in the case. The federal government says its efforts to make it easier to get student debt discharged through bankruptcy court are working. Borrowers must show paying off student debt would cause undue hardship to get it discharged. Federal guidance issued last year tried to make it easier to prove undue hardship by creating a streamlined process. Officials say 632 cases seeking to discharge student debt were filed from November of last year to September of this year. Corpus Christi is living up to its nickname, the birdiest city in America. A rare bird native to South America was seen in the downtown area and had several bird enthusiasts flocking to the area to catch a glimpse.
Yeah. You might think a celebrity was spotted downtown, but these folks are a different kind of paparazzi.
Yeah, it's just sitting there.
Joan Holt drove over from Port A and was armed with binoculars, starstruck over this feathered friend.
Well, this bird has never been seen in the U.S. before, and here it is in downtown Corpus Christi.
That's right, all the commotion is over a bird, but not just any bird. It's called a cattle tyrant. First spotted downtown on Sunday.
All the people came from the valley yesterday, and there were like hundreds of people.
The bird native to South America somehow making its way to South Texas. Rare for these parts. Liam Wolf rushing to Corpus Christi to get the shot.
Yesterday I was in West Texas. I was in Alpine. I had just proposed to my girlfriend.
And now that the word is out, you can expect many more bird enthusiasts are on the way.
The closest sightings of this bird are in Panama. So this is a really, really lost bird. And so there's a lot of people who are in the United States that this is their best opportunity to see this bird. It's easier for them to come travel to Corpus Christi, Texas than to take a flight to, let's say, Argentina or Brazil to see the bird.
Bird watching tourism in Texas is said to bring in big bucks. According to Visit Corpus Christi, there are more than 200 species of birds in the area.
Ecotourism in Texas was an $11.6 billion industry. Bird watching was $4.6 billion of that. Oh, there we got somebody coming over.
Bird watchers Sandy Dillard and Joel Simon say they're seeing more rare birds in South Texas this season. The reason? Well, they're not sure. But one thing is for certain.
If it stays around, you could easily get 10,000 or more people coming just to see this bird from all over the United States.
These bird watchers proud to get a chance to check another species off their list in an otherwise unlikely place. Bill Churchwell, 3 News.
A federal judge seems wary of the state banning TikTok at public universities. You can read the Texas Tribune article on crossroadstoday.com.
Well, good evening, everybody. We had a lot of cloud cover and just a few rays of sun. Right now it's 56, a little cool out there, but we only got up to 66 today. I thought it was going to be about 75, 77, but that has changed. All that is because of the cloud deck coming all the way from the Pacific. We haven't had any rain just yet. We should get some on Monday. I don't expect it to be a big amount, but we'll take a look at your Thanksgiving week weather coming up in just a moment. Stay tuned. Well, good evening, everybody. You probably noticed that big, thick deck of clouds. It was supposed to be sunny today all the way through the weekend, but boy, that storm out in California had a different idea. You can see how the moisture has been just getting thicker and thicker over the region, coming at us all the way from the Pacific. You see it right there. In fact, they're already picking up little light rain echoes out in West Texas and a little bit heavier activity in Phoenix. So the Southwest is getting, shall we say, rather moist right about now. Now, I don't expect any rain anytime soon. I just think it'll be overcast tomorrow. You'll still be in the mid-70s. And then finally, it's when the front gets through that things will change. Now, here's that track of moisture coming at us all the way from the Pacific. This is what we call a tropical connection. So it's basically spinning up with the upper winds. And you can see how strong this storm is out here. This is a huge storm. It is now picking up cold air, and that's going to be the first big snowstorm for the western states while the moisture continues piling up over the southwest. Now, over on the other side of the world, here's the Yucatan Peninsula, here's Central America. Right about here, there's a potential development of what could be the last tropical storm of the season. But regardless of whether it gets named or not, it's going to be a big rainmaker for parts of Cuba, Jamaica, Haiti, all the major Antilles. You can see them, how the storm will just go right on up into the Atlantic. No concern as far as we are. Now, so we're between storm systems. You got all that storminess over here and the one out west. We've got good weather, except for the cloud deck rolling in. But by the time we get to Sunday, we're going to have enough moisture to maybe squeeze something out. Now, on Monday, Future Tracker really does put the rain chance in our forecast as the front comes through. But here's the good news, because I'm always looking for good news. Behind it, we're going to get a dry northwest wind, and that's going to clear us up. It'll be cooler, but for most of the week during Thanksgiving, we're going to have dry weather, which is good. No ice problems. It'll be chilly. You'll need a sweater, but at least we won't have any traffic problems, which is what we're trying to hope for against. We'll get down into the mid-50s, low 50s tonight, tomorrow, maybe mid-70s for pretty much everybody. If you happen to get a chance to go out fishing, well, bundle up because it'll be a little cool in the morning. But the good news, the winds are settling down and the bay waters are smooth. So let's take a look at the day planner for those of you in Port Lavaca. 55 in the morning, quite a bit of cloud cover. Inland areas are going to get some fog. 74 in the afternoon with a little bit of sun. In Cuero, we were likely to get a pretty good fog, so do be cautious with a low of 53 and then 76 by afternoon. So when I say by mild weather, we should be in the low 70s right on through Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday, that front gets through here. It gives us a north wind and we get cooler. This rain will be early on Tuesday morning, and then that north wind will clear things out. So here's Thanksgiving. Good news is Wednesday we start clearing up. And will be cooler and windy, high temperatures in the 60s and low temperatures in the 40s. So we do have one final forecast here for you for Turkey Day. It looks like it'll be a low of 48 and a high of 64, and there'll be a whole lot of turkeys running the other way. That's your 7-day forecast. I want to remind everybody we do have a QR code. Love for you to scan that and put Crossroads Today on your phone. And now here's a band who's been doing a lot of football tonight. Here's Gino.
Thanks, Mac. We have the score from the Ganado game as well, so that's coming up after the break. How to Crossroads? Well, it's the area round of playoffs, and the two favorites in the preseason poll go at it in Victoria. Well, Edna got the ball in the second drive from the Jourdanton 7. Jaden Clay connects with Braylon Harris for the score, 7-0. Cowboys with an early lead. But just 2 minutes later, Clay would hand the ball off to Cade Rodas. He jukes and would eventually plow his way in for the score, 20 yards out, 14-0. Edna on a roll. Next drive, Rodas gets the rock again. This time, he loses the cameraman and hits the Jets. He's gone for 40-plus yards. The extra point would be no good, 20-0. Edna in the first quarter. This one's looking a little scary. The Indians trying to get something going on the offensive side of the ball, but Tyson Williams says, I'll just take that and run with it. He goes off on the defensive side, but he can also do it on the offensive side of the ball too, because Jaden Clay looking for him, and he finds his man. This is a 2-for-1 special. He got the interception, then 2 plays later, he gets the touchdown. And this play right here was right before halftime. He would get sacked, and there's 30 seconds left on the clock, but head coach Jimmy Mitchell said, we're going to be aggressive, we're going to go for it. Jaden Clay tosses it up with 5 seconds left on the clock. Another touchdown for the Edna Cowboys. The Cowboys would go on to win, and they'll be playing they're going to win, and they're going to play the Industrial or Randolph, and those two play tomorrow. Final score, Jourdanton loses 46-6. Those scores should be swapped. The Edna Cowboys go on to win. Now, Zach has been at the game all night, and he's with head coach Jimmy Mitchell. Let's see what the Cowboys coach has to say about this victory.
Well, thanks, Gino. Joined by head coach Jimmy Mitchell. And coach, before the game, I said, are you guys playing your best football? Your answer was, well, certainly hope so. 46-6 is your final score. How you feeling now?
Well, I felt good about the way we played tonight. Okay, but here's the big deal. We've got to keep playing that way. We've got to prepare and do all the things we did this week for us to have that success. We got to do it all again next week. When we play like we played tonight, we're hard to beat.
Absolutely. I mean, you guys play that Edna Cowboy football you've been looking to play all year. Well, Coach, appreciate your time. I'm going to get to some of the little Edna Cowboys. We're going to get Cade Rodas right here. And Cade, last time I talked to you, you were upset. You felt like things weren't being taken as seriously. You felt like you guys really needed to get it together. You got to feel a lot better now.
Yeah, that loss, that left a chip on our shoulder, and we carried it on throughout the season. And then, we just practiced hard. We worked thinking about Goliad, thinking about that loss, thinking about what we didn't do right, and then we came out here and executed. I mean, that's
all you can pretty much ask for, right? And then I heard you guys talking before the game started. You were like, oh, they think they're gonna come over here and whoop our butt. Well, you know, a lot of people had Jourdanton maybe winning this region. They also chose you guys as well. How huge was it to win this game with so many people being torn on who's the best team in this region?
I love being the underdog. I mean, proving people wrong. I mean, I just like doing that.
Awesome. All right, boss. We did it tonight. Appreciate you. And then lastly, we got one of the other team captains, quarterback Jaden Clay. And Clay, I mean, would you tell your guys, I heard a little bit about what you said, but you guys were really trying to make sure you stay straight as you prepare for this next round.
Yeah, like Kay said, we got a chip on our shoulder from Goliad. And coming into the game, we know that's a team that Goliad didn't do very good versus. They gave Goliad a game, and we knew that they were going to take us lightly. They thought we were just going to be a pushover. And I knew personally, this game was going to be personal because freshman year, I knew we played Jourdanton. I knew a lot of guys weren't going to feel what I felt for it, so I made sure that they knew how much it meant to me. And just having the guys, like, they knew how much it meant to me and the other freshmen that were on that team, and they just put it together. And we had great practices, the best week of practice. We came out, warm-ups, we were hype, and it just, like, it showed during the game how in sync we were.
I was going to say, because, I mean, the first drive, or really the first couple of drives, I was like, this is the best Edna has looked all year. Not that you guys hadn't looked great, but what do you think that stems from? I mean, you guys are playing your best football at the most perfect time.
Like Kay said, we love being the underdog, and during this season, we haven't been the underdog much. A lot of people have predicted us to win, and that's good and all. But knowing you're the underdog and you're expected to lose, it just puts the fight in you. You know, like I told everybody before the game, we got to fight for the name on our front and the name on our back. We gotta show Edna football, and that's what we did.
Awesome. All right, boss. Appreciate you. These guys are going to get either a rematch with Industrial or Randolph from Universal City next week. That game is tomorrow night. Reporting from Victoria Memorial Stadium, Zach Brown, KVUTV 25 News Now Sports.
Thanks, Zach. And here is the corrected score. Edna goes on to win 46-6, a dominant performance by the Edna Cowboys. But the Edna Cowboys weren't the only team playing tonight. Let's see how the Ganado Indians did. The Indians took care of business, winning 37-12 over the Mason Punchers. The Indians will now play the winner of Shiner and Holland. Now Ganado may have a chance to play against their district rival in the regionals next week. Well, that's your sports. Don, back to you.
All right, Gino, thank you, and stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 10. We'll take a last look at your weather. Plus, National Butter Day is tomorrow, and we have ways you can celebrate it. Give butter a pat on the back. Studios might have a new Mr. Fantastic. The production company is reportedly eyeing Pedro Pascal to play the genius scientist turned superhero, the upcoming Fantastic Four movie. Pascal has played memorable roles in his career, including the character in Disney's The Mandalorian. The new Fantastic Four movie is set to release in 2025. Tesla's $1,900 Cyber Quad is back up for sale after being recalled last year. At the time, the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission said the toy did not meet safety regulations for a youth ATV. The latest model has a new warning label saying it is not for off-road use and is not a youth ATV, and it can't be plugged in either. The Cyber Quad can reach a speed of 10 miles per hour. It's designed for kids ages 9 to 12 with a max weight limit of 150 pounds. Ooh, I wonder if that's something we can get for the sons or grandsons or daughters or granddaughters.
Yeah, for the granddaughters, because I think I'm over the weight limit. Don't make it to 150.
But I don't know if I want to ride something like that when it's raining, because then it could skid a little bit. But we're not going to have rain this weekend.
No, we're good. What we do get on Monday in terms of rain is going to be pretty light. I mean, it's not a huge rain out. We've got cloudy and mild weather for tomorrow and the weekend. For tomorrow night football, right? More football?
That's right.
More football, and it looks good. Monday night is at front. It comes in with a little bit of rain. The rain will move out Tuesday morning, and the good news is for Wednesday, Thursday, Turkey Day, we've got clear, windy, and mild conditions, or cool conditions. Highs in the 60s. It'll be sweater weather with lows in the 40s, so we'll get ready for that.
All right, thank you, Mac. And finally, tomorrow is National Butter Day. Dairy farmers at Dinner Bell Creamery started the holiday and want people to celebrate year-round. Butter is often used to keep meats tender, enhance the flavor in coffee and cocktails. Oh, really? In sauces, cookies, mashed potatoes, casseroles, and more. Butter sculptures have become an art form celebrated at many state fairs. One way you can celebrate is by thanking a dairy farmer or butter maker or compliment a chef. But if you're complimenting the chef, don't say to him, "Oh, Leo." All right. Hey, thank you so much for joining us for 25 News Now at 10. Join Carolina Astroin and meteorologist Parker Cox for 25 News Now Sunrise starting at 5 a.m. Good night, everybody.
Very